Welcome back, folks, to the Fred and Mouse / Fred Mouse podcast. This is me, Sword Mouse, and this is my co-host.
Nerd Rage Fred.
How
How's you
today, man?
doing?
How you doing?
No, I asked first. This is a competition now.
I'm doing good. It's getting hot here, but otherwise pretty all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, same over here. Super hot. At least I got a haircut, so I don't have as much hair. You know, it gets less hot then.
I noticed. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be keeping you cooler there.
Have you thought about getting a haircut now that it's getting warmer?
I don't think the wife would let me, actually. Like, whenever I talk about getting rid of, half of the carpet that's on my head, she just breaks down crying. I don't think it's an option.
I feel that as well. I sometimes think about it, and I also just break down and cry. So that's
two reasons. Two reasons.
Yeah,
not to get
two
haircut.
reasons. That's just how it is. So how's your streams been?
They've been good. I've been addicted to Chivalry for the past few days. I've actually been really enjoying
Chivalry.
it. Just hopping in, throwing lettuce and fish, and chopping heads off, and all the super kid friendly contents. Been having a blast with it. How about you? What you been playing?
I have been playing Chivalry as well. I've been playing a tons of Total War Warhammer 2. Just going back to that one. That is my main game after all. In sort of a way now. They haven't had a lot of content lately, so I've been diving into a lot of stuff. That and Hitman 3.
I saw that.
That's good memes. A lot of good memes from that one.
Yes, so many odds and ends you could just throw at targets and things, right?
Yeah, or just go around and talk about it. I mainly just go around and big match, and it's like, wonder if you didn't have staff, if you could live here. Like, imagine if it's just you and a cat. Like, you would have to wander around for a full day just to find that cat sometimes, right? If it didn't try to actively search for you, because you wouldn't stumble upon each other otherwise, right?
I love that sort of over the top analysis of level design, just the everyday, life activities that you wouldn't necessarily think about.
Yeah, I do that kind of shit all the time. I was like, well, this doesn't seem very practical, but also I studied engineering and stuff like that, so I always enjoy stuff like that.
Oh, God.
Well, this doesn't seem practical at all. Why would you ever make it like this? This seems like a death trap.
You're not the type of person you want a developer wants in their video game, criticizing the structural integrity of all of the level designs.
Yeah, always sitting there don't even have safety railings. This is bullshit.
It's a code violation.
Yeah, OSHA violation, to say the very least.
War crimes, even.
And a bunch of 2D scrollers as well, like Mighty Goose, which is basically Metal Slug, but you're a goose.
Oh, that sounds... Oh, yeah, we I think we looked at that, or at least I looked at that briefly. It looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. That and Blade Assault was also really cool.
Nice. I kind of want to check those out, actually. Did they come out already?
Yeah, they have. Blade Assault is like Skull Hero Slayer, if you ever play that.
Right, yeah, I played a very early version. Apparently, it's even better now.
Yeah, it's really good. I have 40 hours in it off stream or something, Skull.
Nice. I'll have to give it another peek.
So it's kind of like that, I guess, but more futuristic and cooler, kind of. If it can be cooler than a kawaii skeleton, I don't know, but for the masses decide.
If you throw in any sort of avian species in there, then it's a +2.
Yeah.
+2 cool points immediately.
Exactly. Man, Chivalry is cool. I really like that one. That was one of the highlights of releases now lately, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely captivated my attention. We should totally play sometime, by the way. I don't know what your schedules looks like and stuff, but what classes have you been rocking?
I'll just jump into your stream 100%.
Please, just crash it.
I'll just add you. It's Sword Mouse, right?
On Epic
as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that your creator code as well?
Yes, it is. I kind of dropped the ball on that. I should have been putting it in my tags and stuff, but
Don't say that here.
What's that?
You can't talk about not doing taxes here. People will listen to this.
Oh, not taxes. Just to never put it in my tag. On the
oh,
stream.
You mean like that? You never put that into the Epic Store or anything.
Right. Although we should totally spin this as me, in clickbait, territory. Just spinning this as
Sword Mouse didn't pay his taxes.
Yeah, Sword Mouse admits not paying taxes.
Let's do that post now. We'll just put that as a thumbnail.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, we got our episode for today.
Yeah. All right, so E3 has started. We're gonna try to be somewhat early with all the releases
And my
and
God,
just
there are a lot.
talk about the things that we want to talk about, and then we'll just shotgun through the other things that we don't really care about.
We'll try to cover a good amount of it, but there's just so much that there's some stuff we're just not going to be able to talk to if we ever want to see our families again. So
yeah, there's just too much if we want to keep this under an hour. So first things first, Elden Ring.
Dark Souls 4.
Basically.
Right. So something I didn't know about this is George R.R. Martin had a hand in the creation of the story for this game, which I found really intriguing. Big fan.
Well, he has to do something when he's not writing the book, because he doesn't write the book a lot.
This is totally going to delay another installment of the Song of Ice and Fire by at least 2 or 3 years, right? That's what he's going to use as an excuse.
It's always like that, right? Everybody says, no, he's going to die before he finishes this. And he's just sitting there like, I'm only 63. I'm not that old. And people are like, that's the spirits.
How horrible of folks, too, by the way. Just, like he's a person, right? He's not just a book. He's not just a book, ladies. Come on.
But like fantasy fans are like that, Wheel of Time. I read those as they were coming along, and then like before the last book, the author just went and died. Now it's just like, what? No. And I had been reading those like for a decade or something like that, just waiting for a release after release, and one I waited for like for years just to get the next book, and then he just died. The audacity of the man! I'll never forgive him.
I didn't know that. Well, so you have like abandonment issues then with authors already.
Little bits, but another author came in called Brandon Sanderson. You might have heard of him. Did like Mistborn and stuff like that. Right. He came in and actually finished the series.
Was it a worthy finale?
Yeah, he did it really well. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the original author was kind of like he was trying to slip quite a bit. He was in the early stage of dementia, basically. So he was definitely losing threads here, left and right, and there were a lot of threads. So the dude just came in and he was like, oh. He has 250,000 pages of notes. Crashed his computer just trying to open up the Word documents. And yeah, I mean, like it's he managed to tie up the loose ends really well, I'd have to say.
I can't imagine diving into a story like that late into the world building and the narrative.
Yeah. So anyway, this game,
we should probably talk about Elden Ring.
Isn't this like open world? I thought somebody said.
Yeah, I think that's it seems like the biggest distinction between this and traditional Souls-like video games, as far as I understand it. The prospect of being open world is very intriguing, I think. But I think it looks very, very much so like Dark Souls. Just I know it's from the makers of, so obviously it's going to have a lot of similarities. But my God, I think they're calling it Elden Ring just so they can get George R.R. Martin to start making some world building behind it.
Yeah, but it's always like that art style, like super small heads, human heads that are pale, into like nitty gritty, like weird textures, like something is. You're not getting free ads from me.
Well, Bill's in the mail.
Yeah.
Junar.
I was gonna root with that one instead. But yeah, it's looking cool. When was it coming out?
Oh, actually, I can look here real quick. I don't know if they have a set date yet. Did you play the Souls games, by the way?
Yes, I did. I streamed through all of 3 and played a bit of Bloodborne and Sekiro as well.
Okay. Did you play 1 and 2 as well?
Yeah, I played those off stream, like a long time ago, basically. Well, not the second one. I never played the second one, but I hear people didn't like the second one anyway.
I thought it was okay. Like, maybe not my favorite, but I mean, if you're a Souls fan. It looks like January 21st, 2022 releases the current
next year.
State. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to hearing more news about that one. Hopefully they'll fix some of the stuff that I personally hate about the Souls series, which is the camera is always awful. You always have you always have enemies hiding behind boxes and in rafters. It's not difficulty. That's not difficulty if you just have somebody hiding in the rafters waiting for you. And then, like, the lock-on camera has been awful for the longest time. It's like you're fighting this boss that is, like, literally the size of a school bus, stomping around in a cathedral that's supposed to carry around sounds, and the camera's just like, he went behind a pillar, I don't know where he is. It's like, you know where he is. You can tell that by pure echolocation at this point. And then you're just trying to, like, dodge somewhere, and he just, like, snaps away, and you dodge right into some laser beam. because the school bus sized enemy is like shot at you after going behind the pillar sneakily.
The boss is
Bullshits.
the camera is by far the worst boss in any of the Dark Souls games. Like I don't know how many times I was fighting this or that, super difficult encounter, and then the enemy would like fly away as part of some attack pattern, and then like the lock on would completely lose its mind and unsnap me, and then I'd be looking at like the ground while I was getting hit with dragon fire, and then yeah, it's painful. Like it's like layers of pain that shouldn't even exist. As much as I love the series and the genre, but yeah. I
Yeah.
hear you on all counts.
It's one of those like I like the series. I just think the series gets a pass on those things a lot.
It does, yeah. There's certain like sort of quality of life things that I think definitely need addressing. Like they sort of slip by because it's all masochism. It's just all pain, and we Souls-like fans, we love pain, right? But there's certain things that should be intentional, and other things that should just be kind of removed from the equation.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next game.
Up,
Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yes. You had some thoughts about this before we started the podcast today.
Yes. I think that they kind of felt like, hey, you know what the best DLC for Borderlands 2 was? The Tiny Tina one, where they go into like an RPG world and stuff like that. Did you ever play this?
I did not actually. Played the base game enough to really enjoy the character and totally see why they would make additional content, but I did not play the DLC.
I streamed through all of it with all the DLC and stuff like that, and like that RPG side was like fantastic. It was just shitty Dungeons and Dragons, and it was just really fun, basically.
Right.
People really liked that one. So now it feels like this isn't DLC from what I understand. This is literally like its own game.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they're trying to do the same thing, but just make more money from it, essentially.
Just such a well-received character that they can't help but kind of give her own world and her own series.
Yeah, it's one of those things where either it's, as you say, they just want to give them more time and space because people like this, or it's just because they can see that they're going to make more money, or maybe a combination of the two.
I'm going to predict that Tiny Tina is going to do so well that it's going to eclipse Borderland itself, and eventually Borderlands will be the offshoot.
Let's see here. Is this actually it's full game?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think.
Yeah,
I think
it looks like it actually is. Yeah. So personally, I think it's like I feel like they just took a DLC, well, something that should have been a DLC, and just took it away, because I felt that a lot with a lot of games. Like, for example, Far Cry New Dawn. Did you ever play that?
I did not know.
It was basically the game that everybody thought would be a DLC in the season pass for Far Cry 5. Because it's just reskinned Far Cry 5, essentially. It's still good. I like this. I'm a sucker for those open world looter shooters, exploration type of games. Like I can't get enough of them. They're like crack.
Yeah, it's a good formula. It's hard not to have fun with titles like that, right?
Yeah.
But you think with Tiny Tina, it's just sort of like the almost like the movie sequel stretching syndrome, where you'll take like a single plot, which should be much better in like a 90-minute format, and then you just kind of like artificially extend it over multiple installments.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see if this is actually going to be its own successful thing, or is this going to be a shitty spin-off? Will this be the Joey of games, or will it be the Frasier?
Friends and Frasier references. I like it.
Yeah, and Frasier as well, because he was a character in Cheers. Technically, the most like the character that's been played on TV for the longest time is from Kelsey Grammer, who did Frasier, because first it was on Cheers. It was, I think it's like 22 years, something like that.
He's had a long run, yeah.
Yeah, because it was like 11 years on Cheers and 11 years on Frasier, something like that. Anyway, somebody in the comments will probably be like, it's actually 21 and a half. You shiz.
You're up by 2 months. What do you think? You're like a super knowledgeable, television guru or something? Jeez.
I mean, people come here to get hot takes for games, and after that, who knows?
You're gonna sully our reputation. We're gonna seem like we don't know anything if you're off on like the 2 months of the Kelsey Grammer's prestigious career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I know there's demand for it. Maybe we'll if it depends. I guess it depends on how good the quality of the game is, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, next game. Onwards. There's so many to get through.
Yeah, there's
We
so
gotta
many.
focus.
We're not gonna segue fancily between these.
No.
Metal Gear Slug. No, Metal Slug Tactics. Not Metal Gear. I always say Metal Gear. Metal Slug Tactics.
Sluggy tactics that are also metal.
Yeah, this is the game I think nobody asked for, but a lot of people seem incredibly hyped for.
It's like the definition of like a pleasant surprise, right? Just take like a '90s beloved sort of side scrolly shooter, like kind of bullet hell type title, and
Yeah,
just slap tactics on it for basically no reason, which is a sort of what Final Fantasy Tactics did back in the day. One of my favorites.
yeah. I'm really
But
liking the art direction in this.
yeah, likewise, it's almost got like what am I thinking? Like sort of like this is random, but Chrono Trigger and FMV sequences like on the remaster. I don't know if
Yeah,
you played it or not.
they definitely kept like the actual in-game graphics from the original Metal Slug stuff.
Right, that was a really smart choice on their part too, because you kind of want that sort of
Oh
triggered
yeah,
nostalgia
oh yeah,
effect.
for sure. Did you ever play Metal Slug?
I think briefly, many years ago, like back when it was like on the current console.
Like 2 decades ago, I would literally go to an arcade because I lived like really rurally. So we would go to like a larger city to just watch movies and stuff like that. It would be like a 2 hour bus ride,
Oh, okay.
um, just to watch movies. And by the movie theater, there was an arcade. So usually the buses wouldn't go like super well. So we would just, be by the arcade for a long time. So I spent a lot of money just playing like Metal Slug.
Oh man, I also had a rural upbringing. I didn't really know we had that in common.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude. I hardly even lived in by a village. I lived alongside a road. I had like closer to wolves than people. Not even kidding about that.
same, same. You know what this means, right? We need to have a go like an arcade date one of these days. Just
Yeah, let's talk
recapture
about
youth.
like the woods are nice, but also dangerous.
Mortal Kombat's so much more fun than get eaten by wolves and like smashing bee. Like
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just have a good dog that doesn't bark at the wolves. They just wake everybody up so they're ready for them.
right at all hours, especially. All right, what
Something
do we have
that I
next?
don't know if people asked for either is Death Stranding director's cut.
Right. I actually don't know how much content is added with the director's cut. Do you?
Neither do I, but I mean, like, it's
It's
one of
just.
those things where boring can be an art direction.
Did you not like that Stranding?
Oh yeah, I liked it a ton, but I'm not gonna like skim over stuff that is bad. I am very proud of the fact that I like bad stuff, and things can be good and they can also be bad.
This is true.
So this one is like, did you ever play Death Stranding?
I did. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like the pacing and the storytelling just struck me as sort of obviously very movie like and pretty different. Also, can we appreciate what's happening in this trailer? I don't know if you could explain this for me right now, but for anybody that's not watching currently, he's on like listening whatnot. He's about to hop into a box, and I don't understand what he's trying to achieve here. I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but
Yeah. He's basically doing if Sam fits, he can sit
okay. I thought this was like
into a box.
thought it was like a Metal Gear thing.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna. Okay,
it's
is
just
that
a
what it
Metal
is?
Gear reference.
I was
That's what it
hoping.
is.
There's like 5 oranges in the box. It's very bad space management.
Yeah, like with Kojima, you never know if it's like a deeper meaning or if it's just being insane for the moments. Because Kojima has the same kind of storytelling as you would guess in random like conspiracy theory Facebook videos.
I have to admit, there was a point where I was getting tired of seeing Death Stranding announcements back before it actually came out because there'd be like a new video every few months or so, and I still had no idea what the game was about. And I was just like, I know the next time I watch a video, it's just gonna not help me understand what's happening, and it was like unreasonably frustrating for me because I had no idea what was going on at any point until the game came out.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a weird one. I definitely understand why some people hated it and why some people love this. I thought it was cool. A lot of memes from that one as well.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. I thought, like, definitely unique as well. Plus, the Norman Reedus though. No,
And
just me.
yeah, we'll see how that one goes and when it's coming out. Did it actually say when it's coming out? It is not saying when it's coming out. Fantastic.
That sounds like Hideo Kojima
Yep.
mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Wrapped in Facebook conspiracy theorist videos.
Basic.
Nano machines.
You have to find the release date in a box on a shelf
Yeah.
amidst the oranges.
And the next game on the list is Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Did you figure that out from the pterodactyl channel just now on the screen? Because I did. I was like, oh yeah, this is Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So the cool thing about that one is that it has Jeff Goldblum in it, and it's the second Jurassic World Evolution game from the. It's a sequel to the other one.
Right.
The one that came before, unspecifically.
I feel like people never play these games with the intention of running the park very well. I don't know about you, but it's just most of the fun's garnered from things not going according to plan, or according to plan, very badly, and having T-Rexes occasionally eats tourists.
I'm actually gonna do a little brag here as well. My daughter, we have a Brachiosaurus now on screen. My daughter has like a couple of dinosaur books. And me having played a lot of Ark and being very interested in like dinosaurs when I was young, I never say like dinosaur. I just like, here's a Brachiosaurus. Here's a Ankylosaurus, stuff like that.
Just full on teaching her the names of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, so at preschool, they had she knew all the animals, they told me, but she didn't know dinosaurs, so they had to teach her. And I was like, no, she knows the names of them. You have to say the names. And then we like went in there and it's like, look. And I was like, can you point to the Triceratops? And she just went up to that one, just like asked the tiger and like lion and stuff like that as well. She knows different about them. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Oh my God.
So this little 1.5-year-old just like looked at the teacher like, you do not know this name of the Brachiosaurus?
I'm sorry, I don't know the common generic term for the various amounts of species.
Do you not know they are different?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like kids will know stuff like that if you just teach them. The harder part is just, knowing the dinosaurs yourself, I guess.
Right.
Anyway, back into the trailer. That's we're currently watching in the background for anyone who doesn't have the video on. But I'm not really sure what they're going to improve upon this one. I haven't really read up tons about the improvements, but from what I understand, it's more dinosaurs. It's a couple of new features, maybe. Features.
You played the previous game, right?
Yeah.
Did you feel like there's anything missing that could have been expanded on, or do you think this could be like a tiny?
No, but here we go. Actually, now on the screen we have swimming one that I actually don't know the name for. Embarrassingly enough,
it's a Crocodilosaurus. No.
It's but swimming dinosaur is pretty cool.
This gives me like Planet Zoo DLC vibes almost. Like you have like the aquatic section coming.
I mean, it's the same company that does them, isn't it? It's like Frontier, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Frontier. Yeah, I can see it here in the background here. Oh, you can't see it anyway. All right, but it's Frontier. So it's the same company.
Solid. I know they're pretty well known for having varied animal species, really good attention to detail and stuff like that. A lot of freedom of choice when it comes to
building your own exhibits and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably as long as you can feed your dinosaurs people, I'll be happy playing these.
Yeah, you definitely will be able to have them. Like escape.
Air quotes. We're doing air quotes right now.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Lost Ark. We're just going to briefly touch on this one. This is one of those titles where we're just going to shotgun. It's Eastern RPG, I guess that you can call it. It's going to come out now into the West as well. Going to be released. You've been able to play this for a while in other places, but now everybody will be able to play it. And it's basically a Diablo style hack and slash MMO.
I'm going to be honest, from the video, I thought it was like Final Fantasy 14 DLC for like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, but, I can see that. I can see that being a thing.
Do you play many hack and slash titles like Diablo? things like that. Poe.
No, not since then really. I stopped doing that. I tried to get into like Diablo, and I got really into it. But then after a while, it's like, yeah, if I want to like improve a single piece of gear on my character, it's like 8 hours of grinding, and I was just like,
Yeah,
I can do other stuff with this. With my time, my time is actually worth more.
I'm right there with you. Actually, just excessive grinds for the sake of basically padding time.
Yeah,
Depending on how well it's done.
we'll see how well this one does when it gets released.
Yeah,
I'm fairly like on the opinion about this personally, but I am interested to see how it will do.
yeah. I mean, if people like it, I'll give it a go. Try anything, once or twice, right?
Yeah,
Not too
exactly.
shabby. The graphics are good. Good movie sequences. Not that really tells us much about the game, but what do we got next? What is
Yeah.
this?
Next, it is Call of Duty. It's getting its own next season pass.
Ah,
Was also announced. Did you ever play that?
I dabble in Call of Duty. I'm more of a Battlefield guy overall, but here and there, yeah. How about you?
Nah, not really. I played like 2 matches of Warzone or something. But then I was like, why do you have like season passes and a base game and microtransactions and like everything like that? It's I'm very much against that idea of having like a season pass plus stuff that isn't included in the season pass plus other stuff as well. It gets I think it gets silly, honestly.
Yeah. I can't really argue with any of that. It is a bit heavy-handed.
Like, but when I said earlier that I'm really like, yes, I love those open world looter shooter stuff. I still definitely complain every chance I guess about the Ubisoft like microtransaction store constantly. It's like, hey, have this skin or whatever the hell for like whatever dollars. The
You
only thing I've ever bought was the rainbow ship in Assassin's Creed Valhalla because people complained that the ship was unimmersive when I was streaming it. So I
just
bought that.
just to troll your own stream.
Yes.
Beautiful. I didn't even know it had a rainbow ship. That's amazing.
Yeah, with a little cat with a mallet in the front as a figurehead.
Oh, now I just want to play the game for that alone.
And it trails rainbows after it. So it's actually pretty
Beautiful.
cool.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Uh,
Among
but
Us
yeah,
is getting I'm getting there we go. It's getting a new hide and seek mode. It's also announced.
yeah. Is this like PvP? Is it co-op? What's
You
the?
know what? We said earlier, none of us had played this. We haven't played Minecraft either. We're like, we're literally boomers. I think we should just say like they have a new mode coming out, and just spare ourselves the embarrassment of trying to say anything else about it.
Your kids probably want to know all about this thing that's coming out with this Among Us. It's like it's got Minecraft characters. Apparently, they're aliens as well. We
Yeah,
don't know how it
and
works, but it looks fun.
you can just bring all your Roblox friends over. See what's happening.
Now with cross-platform supports.
Yeah, so you can play with your friends whose parents only bought them, like the Xbox, and you have
Exactly.
a PlayStation 4 because nobody has a PlayStation 5.
Or one of those like
Uh,
Nintendo cubes.
yeah, so good times, everybody. Also, Salt and Sacrifice.
Okay. See, now this is a bit more in territory of things that I have a slight idea of what it
Thank
is.
God I didn't know anything about this one.
Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a sequel to Salt and Sanctuary. I do believe it's sort of a 2D Souls-like experience. It's got kind of unique, kind of almost low definition, kind of pixely art style, but it kind of works. I think it's got a cool aesthetic to it. I don't know if you've ever played any 2D Souls-like titles like
Yeah,
Blasphemous or Salt Sanctuary, but
yeah, I actually have a
okay,
little bit, but not like super duper much. I have enjoyed like roguelikes and stuff like that, but not to any
yeah,
other extent. I've seen a lot of streams of this one though, so a lot of people seem to really like it.
yeah. I never played the original myself. I kind of wish I had when it was new, but it's probably something I'll tackle in my off time and maybe prep for this one. Looks pretty good, I think.
Good that the people are getting more of these. This is a more of an original thought, I think. That it's just 2D Dark Souls if you really think about it, but I like that they're getting more and more stuff like this as well. So apparently people do enjoy that one, and everything that is good for the medium is good for everyone in the medium, I think, which is
Absolutely.
video games. Oh,
Yeah,
co-op as well. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can't complain, right? If it's a
Yeah.
decent game, mash up a little bit of like genre twist on it, and it's about what you can hope for.
Yeah. Next game on the list is Solar Ash. Annapurna Interactive is making that one, which I heard somewhere, maybe on Twitter. I actually don't know where. Oh yeah, Hyperlife Drifter is the studio also made Hyperlight
Drifter.
Drifter. That's right. If anyone ever played that one, it is a incredibly stylish, incredibly hard game. So when people say that Dark Souls and Souls-like games are the hardest, no, like Hyper Light Drifter is incredibly difficult. Like that is a hard game. I breezed through Dark Souls 3 and like Bloodborne and stuff like that, but that game was like that was hard. I was like difficulty hit me like a goddamn brick wall, basically. That was
Now
crazy.
I have to ask: is this like a consensus among the gaming community, or is this a game that you struggle with personally?
From what I haven't really asked a lot of people, but I know that people have said that it is harder than Dark Souls.
Okay.
A lot of people seem to think that. Obviously, there's always going to be somebody who's like gaming experiences just lead up to being really good to that game eventually. Anyway, so they'll be like, "Oh yeah, well I did it all in first try and it was really easy. I did it with my feet on the controller and had a blindfold while geese were attacking me in real life."
Very loudly.
Yeah.
Solar Ash looks good though. It's more of like a movement sort of focused action/platformer title, right?
Yeah. So
I like the aesthetics of
interested
it.
to see how that one is gonna look in the end. It's coming out this year, so
Nice.
interested to see how it's gonna be perceived and what it's gonna be in the end, because you can't
Yeah.
always tell that much from these trailers.
Right. I mean, honestly, anymore, I'm just thankful to see one with actual gameplay instead of just a movie sequence.
Yeah. And the next game, it is 2 Point Campus from the creators of 2 Point Hospital, for example.
I thought this looked kind of fun, honestly. I don't know if you've ever played any of the 2 Point games, like 2 Point
Yeah.
Hospital, whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, I play those a ton on both on and off stream. But this one, I'm like, I don't 100% understand the concepts. Personally, I'm like, all right, a hospital then, that's Team Hospital. Sick people come in, healthy or dead people come out. Here it's like, you just try to, well, I guess you just try to make the same thing, but it's just sillier and you just try to make it dumb people come in and
smart people come out, or less
or educated people at least go out.
I never really played too many of the 2 Point games. So you're probably a bit better to kind of shed light on this, but looks cute. I like the premise of it. I think this one might be one for the wife as well. I know she likes those games.
I'm definitely going to be streaming this one.
Yeah,
definitely. It's definitely up my alley, as the kids would say.
the college experience, I don't think is one. I don't know if this really relates to many of us. It seems like a lot going on here, but I do like the castles. There's a clown, football players. I'm struggling right now to sort of identify with the campus material.
I guess it's one of those things. Not everybody goes to like a campus or a college or a university or anything like that. So let's see how many people would be like, yeah, I want to do that. So I guess that's why they want like the magician and stuff like that, just to have it a little bit more marketable. Like, what people like with schools? Magic and Harry Potter.
Or how cool would this be? I don't know if this is a thing, but if you could actually specialize your academy to train these particular professions, like you'd have like a magician's academy or like a clown academy. If they let you do that, I'm sold. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but
somebody is checking if like, yeah, they have a really good magic and clown program, but I don't know, like real life, professions, it's getting harsher.
Best clown school in the hemisphere.
Best clown school.
It's like a trade school, yeah.
Also, the battle pass for Smite got updated as well. It's going to be Stranger Things crossover. 11, the little the monster that is really cute with the flower head.
Yes, the Demogorgon.
Yeah, the Gorgon. That's cool, I guess.
And I think there's like a Hopper skin too, right? The police officer.
Yeah. I don't know, actually, probably. I mean, like, Smite is getting all the crossovers. Back in my day, as we said, IPs knew where to stay.
Yes, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I like this whole like merging of intellectual properties constantly. Like it's just too many flavors. Damn it! I'm confused and angry.
Yeah, I mean, like it's if you play Smite, it's probably cool. I tried to get into Smite a little bit a while ago, but noticed that all my years in League of Legends had not prepared me for the sheer amount of toxicity that was apparently in Smite on lower levels.
Really? Is it
Yeah,
a
I mean,
toxic community?
dude, I've been playing League of Legends since beta, and it's like Smite was worse. So, like, at least in my experience, I bet if you actually manage to climb more, it'll be better. But I always like, I've just started. Don't complain about what I buy. Just tell me what I should buy instead. Like these boots aren't good. Okay, well, what should I buy? And this, like, why don't you just kill yourself? And you're just like, wow, shitty young people always wanting other people to do their work for them. Why don't you come over here and do it yourself?
Oh my god. It's such a soul crushing revelation because it's such a cool premise for a game, like
Yeah,
mythological, gods and entities of various cultures kind of battling it out in a MOBA playing field, and
yeah.
it's
In the big, like more casual fighting modes, it was kind of alright. It was more in the matches that it didn't work out super well.
man, frequently the case that the players in the games tend to be the worst aspect of the titles.
Yeah, and then we also have this game, which I completely forgot to check anything about actually.
Which one is this?
Anna Trucis is what it is called.
I don't know if I've seen this.
It seemingly is kind of Left 4 Dead-ish concepts.
Okay, it's like a co-op horde shooter. Seems like. Oh right, I think I saw this reveal actually briefly when it was live during the event. Yeah, it looks like four-person shooting aliens instead of zombies. Important distinction.
Very important. It
Yes.
does feel like it's just a little bit crazier Left 4 Dead because they can have futuristic weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks
But
really
also animations and
fast-paced.
things like that look horrible, honestly.
It looks really light, doesn't it? Like sort of almost TF2 kind of floaty. To
Yeah,
try to quantify it.
yeah. And they don't really have like the character, like even the monsters just are basically people with weird heads that just run at you normally.
Yeah,
Uh,
not to be too critical because I'm sure they might be able to, make some strides before it comes out. But yeah, it does seem a bit generic. Maybe
yeah,
I'm judging it too harshly, but
that's what I would say as well. It looks a bit generic. Maybe that's why I didn't. I probably saw it and then completely forgot about it straight away. But
getting old, both
we'll
of us.
wait and see if it's going to be better or not.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, because it's not done until all the player reviews come in, I guess,
Exactly.
or something like that.
Prove us
Um,
wrong.
Now we also have Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt,
Oh God.
which
Oh
is
oh Lord.
it's a game that I'm super hopeful about, and deep down, I don't have a single shred of hope.
This hurts me. As a huge Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines fan, and as a frequent complainer of the fact that seemingly every game is a battle royale game anymore. This is like my worst nightmare made manifest because it's one of my favorite franchises with one of my least favorite genres combined for seemingly no reason whatsoever. It looks like just Overwatch with some sort of edgy like Fang aesthetic, just kind of almost like tacked on. But I would love to be wrong. Like if this does well, that'd be great. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a blast with it. Maybe that will lead to other Vampire the Masquerade games coming into reality, which aren't based on battle royale. But
Yeah, yeah, it does feel like a little bit Overwatch, but with vampires instead.
it
So,
it does the powers and things. Yeah, I don't know.
we'll see. What it is a Swedish game studio, so as a Swede, I am gonna be hugely supportive of it out of principle. But
Good on you.
I we'll see. We'll see about it, I guess.
We would love to be wrong. I think it's a great. Like the stance on this title.
Yeah.
Ah, it hurts. It hurts, Fred.
Yeah. House of the Ashes. The dark Pictures anthology,
Oh
Man of
yes.
Medan, the other one that
Have
came
you
out.
played these?
Yes, I have. I do not get scared as a person would, as I'm dead inside. So for
Mm.
me, it's more like I don't know why he would live out here by himself. Why does he bicycle alone at night if he's not like weird though? Like, did he just forget something at the bus stop? Why don't they ask him for help?
I think you're basically talking yourself out of ever receiving any keys from poor developers now.
Probably, yeah. I have gotten keys for the two other ones, but I sit around. It's like I don't get scared, so I'm just contemplating over the really poor life choices of the characters that dwell in a haunted house or whatever.
Never watching horror movies with your friend. I'm sorry. Never. Never
Probably a
again.
good idea.
I
I
do like the premise though. Like it's like a military operation. They think they're hitting like this uh insurgent point of interest, like I don't know, data center or whatnot. And then the monster comes out. I love that. I love that sort of setup.
It does look quite cool. It's a little bit of a different angle as well because you actually you're somebody who can actually defend themselves.
Right.
Well, supposedly, we saw how that worked in Predator as well.
I was just gonna mention Predator. Thank you for dropping that. It's like the same like premise, isn't it?
Yep.
Probably on purpose. I think it's a good choice. Hopefully this works out too. I know seems like most of the games in the anthology have received mostly good feedback, good press.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't get scared easily, but I still enjoy them, so I play them anyway.
Yeah.
And they have been well received from what I know anyway. I haven't actually checked, but I always felt like they're getting really well received. And this one is coming
Yeah.
out for Halloween yet again.
Perfect. Good timing.
Very good timing for scary stuff. And Bandai Namco Entertainment are the ones who's making this one. And they are always pretty cool people who do games that are either really good or not so good. I guess it's a very mixed bag with their games. But they do very cool stuff as well.
Yeah, what did they release recently? Was the
Guilty Gear Strive.
Yes, that's it. The one makers of Code Vein, right? Yeah.
Yes, Code Vein. Scarlet Nexus is coming out later on.
Right.
They've done like all the Naruto games, all the like One Piece games they publish. They do all the Weeb games basically. It's either Koei Tecmo or Bandai Namco that makes those basically. All the Dragon Ball games as well.
Solid titles.
Yeah, also Little Nightmares. So cool games.
Right. Yeah, good amount of variety there too.
Yeah.
Lots of hats worn. All right, what's next?
And next on list is Tales of Arise, also from Bandai Namco.
Do we have
this
on our
one
list? We'll go for
is this a turn-based one actually? It's just one other of those
sort of. I thought it was a JRPG.
yeah, it's a JRPG
what is
that
this?
is JRPG. Oh, it's just an action RPG.
Action RPG. There we go.
Yeah, so it's not actually turn-based as I maybe would have thought. These are usually like filled with anime tropes, like I have to do it for my friends, or I was abused by the mad professor, and then he killed my family. Now I'm seeking revenge.
Probably going to save the world at some point.
Yeah. And then you have like, oh yeah, I can feel like a mystical power within this man. He's the chosen one.
You really have to appreciate how tenuous our grasp is on just continued existence with the sheer amount of times like the world is almost destroyed across various worlds, various heroes just constantly saving it. If any one of them messes up, it's over for all of us. Like
basically,
it's terrifying if you think about it.
I do feel like this one is in the same vein as God Eater, for example, the God Eater games.
Right. And it's also Bandai as well, right? So
yeah,
probably some strong influences there. It looks good though.
Yeah, Bandai Namco published a lot of games from places that are they use the same engine a lot, essentially, just upgrade that one. So it's you're gonna recognize like how they play fairly easily. Right. Either you like them or maybe you don't. But I usually play all of these. I like the Weeb games. They're not always the best ones, but I do enjoy them in the end.
Consistent quality, kind of almost like a nostalgia level because they sort of play the same.
Yeah. Also, we had Planet Lana, the reveal trailer,
Ooh.
which
Oh
is
yes.
a cool little artsy game that's coming
Yep.
out. I guess it's a 2D kind of game, same as Ori, the Ori games, with its own cool little art style. And I
This
mean,
game looks dangerously cute. Like
yeah,
that little cat or whatever it is on screen right now. For those of you watching, oh my god, it's just so adorable.
yeah, it's looking all right. It's probably going to be cool. It does remind me a little bit of Limbo, how they actually move and stuff like that as well. But
Yeah.
it's a lot brighter and not super duper scary. Yeah, that is definitely like reminding of Limbo.
Right.
Giant spider with spider legs and stuff.
Mm-hmm,
That was
mm-hmm.
just on the screen.
Why do I feel like this game's gonna hit me in the feels if I play it? I feel like it's gonna happen.
It probably
Like
will.
that poor cat is gonna see some shit. You know, he's gonna go through some stuff.
Yeah. All right. We also have Monster Hunter Stories 2, which from what I understand is the next Monster Hunter for the Nintendo Switch, is this? Or maybe it's multi-platform, where this time around you can actually tame one of your dragons.
The Pokemon mechanic we were talking about.
Yes. So you can have them fight for you because they like you, and I mean, that's cool, I guess.
It's I don't know. Like I feel like we shouldn't be making monsters fight for our pleasure. Like we should respect their autonomy and just sort of
Back
let
in
them.
my day, we would just do dog fighting.
We would just kill them. You know, we wouldn't capture them and subject them to cage fighting for our enjoyments.
It's I mean, I heard the other one was the one before this one was positively reviewed. So I mean,
Okay.
good that it's coming more. I personally didn't play the before one, but it does look pretty cool. I think it's turn based as well. It looked like when I saw the other trailer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these look solid. I've never played the Monster Hunter games, but I know they're pretty popular, and they look like a fun formula of titles as much as I'd like to poke fun at them.
And next on the list is Endless Dungeon.
Yes. So I'm a fan of the original Dungeon of the Endless. This is like a whole sort of intellectual property with games sort of spanning various genres, kind of in the same universe. And this one in particular is sort of a tower defense kind of roguelike with some like resource management thrown in. Um, it looks like a vast improvement over the original, at least graphically. If you look at screenshots of the original, you'll see that they're very, very pixely to the point where you could kind of sometimes have trouble distinguishing what's actually happening on screen. So this is a huge upgrade in terms of visuals. Hopefully, if the gameplay even stays consistent, or hopefully even better if we're lucky than the original, then this might be one to watch for anybody that's sort of a fan of like tower defense / roguelike titles.
I personally never played it, but I mean, it's looking interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Resource management. You have to put traps down. You see the little like squares on screen where like there's a nose where you can put certain traps and things. And basically each level you're trying to escort this crystal, this power source to the escape route. And you have to manage like energy because you can only light so many rooms up at any one time, and then monsters spawn in the dark ones. And it's pretty hectic. It's pretty strategic. Fun game.
Looking forward to maybe trying that one out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Amplitude is making that one as well. They're making Humankind as well, and we also have Back for Blood. Was also more
yes.
also got its own little trailer stuff like that.
Right. PvP reveal, I do believe.
Sorry.
PvP reveal, I think, was yesterday.
Yeah. But it's looking really, really cool. It's the makers from Left 4 Dead, from what I understand, is that just aren't allowed to make a third one or whatever the hell. So they made this game instead. So it is
Yes.
gonna look a lot like modern Left 4 Dead, and likeness as well be there quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, worth pointing out, it's Turtle Rock Studios, the makers of the original Left 4 Dead. They were acquired by Valve shortly after the completion of Left 4 Dead, so they became, I think, Valve South officially. but it is in fact the same developer, and obviously they don't own the IP. I think it would be Valve, which owns the Left 4 Dead franchise. So this is the spiritual successor from the original team. Also, the makers of I guess Evolve, I do believe is
Yeah,
the
I
title.
was just gonna mention Evolve. Evolve was cool, but
Yeah,
in
good
the end did
premise.
not manage to captivate as many people as it maybe should have.
Right,
I
right.
played the. I remember I played the open beta and closed beta. I was like, this is great, and I just pre-ordered it. Then when it came out, it's like one more level or something like that, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I would love to not see a repeat of that for Back for Blood. I did play the alpha back in December. That was almost 6 months ago now, give or take.
did you enjoy it?
Quite a bit, actually. I was genuinely impressed. I am a Left 4 Dead fan, so I'm trying not to make that sort of cloud my judgment at all. But just objectively speaking, it was a very smooth alpha. Matchmaking, server connection, gunplay. It was all really fun. Very, very true to the Left 4 Dead experience. I don't know if you're a fan of the original
Yeah,
titles, but
a ton.
yeah, they
It's gonna be cool. Happy to hear that that it was smooth as well.
it was like one of the better alphas I've played, honestly.
Fantastic. Uh, Next game is Tribes of Midgard, which is also a resource survival game. Well, not also, but it's also a co-op game that you can play. You can also play it single player, I think, but it's mainly just trying to survive with everybody. Think Valheim, but top-down perspective, essentially with more
Right,
resources and more hack
right.
and slash.
It even has the sort of like color palette almost of well, not quite Valheim, but sort of in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, oh
This
for
looks
sure.
intriguing. I'd play this.
So I think you make your own little tribe, well, your own little village and everything like that as well. So
Right.
it's probably going to be cool when it's coming out.
Hopefully, some level of map randomization or procedural generation. That would
Yep,
be nice.
we're trying that one out. We'll see how that
Absolutely.
one goes. The only thing that might be a little bit too simplistic or something like that. I fear it might not be have the depth that is needed for these kinds of games. Like you won't have enough content, but we'll just wait and see.
Hopefully, the bright colors sort of belie existence of complex mechanics.
Yes. When in doubt, add more bright colors to confuse people. That's what
Yeah,
my grandmother always used to say.
worse to live
Um,
by.
and for the next game, it's a Rainbow Six Extraction,
This
which
actually
costs.
looks pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's just it feels just like Left 4 Dead once again.
Right. Or I don't know if you played GTFO, but it's got strong, like, super tactical co-op vibes going for it.
And I actually never played GTFO. I actually got it from somebody, but I never played it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, strong vibes for that game. Although I do believe it's the Rainbow Six operatives in this particular title.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
fans of the game are definitely going to feel at home with this, I imagine.
Yeah, from what I feel, it's just Rainbow Six got its own zombie horde mode essentially.
Right?
So
PvE mode.
it's looking really goddamn cool though. More hyped than I've been for any other Rainbow Six stuff, but I haven't played any other Rainbow Six stuff, so
Likewise, I'm
looking good.
a huge co-op fan with titles like these, or genres rather.
And they also name drop Tom Clancy a lot,
Always.
because why not? And
He
the next one that's on the Ubisofts. Sorry, were you going to say anything?
Oh no, just talking about Tom Clancy books. But please continue.
All right. For the next one, it is Rocksmith Plus. It's got an announcement as well.
Right. This is basically a distance sort of learning program. They're taking kind of like the Guitar Hero format and actually teaching you how to play a real guitar, from what I understand.
I mean, that sounds really cool. Oh, you can even use it with your phone as well,
Yeah.
and PC and everything. That actually does sound pretty cool.
They look like they've streamlined like the learning process pretty well, honestly. I think it might be a subscription service, but looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, teaching people instruments is fantastic, though, especially if
Th-
it works well.
This would have been great to have had like a year ago, like at the start of quarantine.
Yeah, definitely.
Come
But
out of it with like 5 instruments under your belt.
I'm sure a lot of people have developed agoraphobia during this quarantine time, so it's all fine.
Right.
And then also stuff that I didn't know people wanted was Riders Republic, basically an MMO steep, I guess, where you could go mountain biking, downhill mountain biking. Well, downhill biking, is that what it's called? You use wingsuits, you ski, snowboards, stuff like that.
So an MMO that's sort of centered around sports and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's different.
yeah, it definitely is. It's like, okay then. I'm
Curious
sure
how
that's
many.
fun. I'm sure the MMO aspect is probably secondary to the actual like extreme sporting.
Yeah, just like character leveling and cosmetics and things like that. Maybe some sort of skill system, possibly.
Yeah, we'll see. It's one of those things that you know, took me off guard. At least it's like people wanted that. All right then,
It
fair
seems
dinkum
like
to them.
we're seeing a few games this year who have just sort of kind of boldly mashed some genres together in the
Yeah.
hopes of something cool coming out of it.
Honestly, I was a little bit like, oh, nobody asked for that. But in all honesty, I'm always happy when people are doing new concepts. Anyway, it's actually really cool. The
Absolutely.
best parts, the best kind of games were like in the early 2000s when we were getting like Star Wars RPG. We were getting those are just cool different types of games. Like, oh yeah, I'll do a racing game, but it'll be focused on like crashing, like Burnout and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And we definitely need more stuff like that where we just mash genres and try to do it as well as possible for the medium to actually grow anyway.
100%. Usually it falls on indie devs, it seems like, for new ideas and new combinations to happen, just because they tend to be the one to take risks. So it's really nice to see bigger companies kind of occasionally do a little bit of gambling as well.
Yeah. Also, Assassin's Creed Valhalla got content updates,
Right.
which is pretty cool. So we're finally getting the Siege of Paris that we've been waiting for. They did announce that a long time ago. They're also getting the Discovery Touring mode, which is really cool, where you can go around and actually get really fancy like developer commentary and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because a lot of people don't know that, but the Assassin's Creed series goes like they do a lot of work on being actually historically accurate. Like if you want to check out like the best representation of ancient Egypt, it's Assassin's Creed Origins. Like even Egyptologists say that is like the best representation you can have.
That's some high praise. That's amazing.
Even in now that they're rebuilding Notre Dame, they're actually using Assassin's Creed Unity as well to check out like how it's actually like built inside to recreate everything as well as possible. It's definitely something they do not get enough credit for. It's more like people do focus on the other aspect of it, which is like, boats are too fast, you fight gods. Thing like what kind of, there's a flail in it, but there's a lot of aspects of it that is actually historically accurate, even though far from everything is.
It's amazing that you can get something that has sort of like historical significance from a video game.
Yeah.
It's like an amazing sort of almost side benefit of their resource allocation, like being so well researched on the subject. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, the only thing I'm like a little bit miffed about is that the main character is called Eivor, because Eivor is not, it's not like a unisex name at all. It's one of those like it would be like naming the Viking like Susan or something like that. Like it's just you don't, or Gertrude, like you just don't get like a dude called as.
Amazing they got the town or the city layout so accurate, but the name kind of maybe of a drop ball.
It's just weird for like us Scandinavians, because Eivor is a name that old grannies are called. It's just well, maybe it was a little bit caught us off guard.
Maybe back then it was unisex.
No. It's just not even one of those names. Like we have names that everybody can be named, but
I tried Ubisoft. I tried.
So that's why I will always say that female Eivor is canon.
It's fair.
Did you ever play Valhalla, by the way?
I have not. I watched a few folks stream it, though.
Honestly, my game of the year, except for Ghost of Tsushima, but it's probably like second game of the year, I guess, if that's the thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I like I said, I really love the open world looter stuff, exploration games. I really do. So I mean, like I really like that game. I my stats were like I killed I think they're closer to 6,000 NPCs in this, walking around with like just dueling them. It's like yes, have at the peasants.
The dubious achievements. I guess it is Assassin's Creed though, so you can't be blamed for killing people. But it is cool to see how far the series has come. I don't know if you ever played the original Assassin's Creed, but it was like they sort of evolved in this open world RPG where before they were at best sort of like an action game with like a
Well,
story that kind of almost made
Well,
sense.
they always had the open world. Assassin's Creed 1 was just really slow about it. So you didn't
Small, yeah.
travel that much. But Assassin's Creed 1 was just really slow and weird. You couldn't even run anywhere. So maps
Yeah.
would be a little bit smaller because otherwise it would have been too tedious.
Right, right.
Also, Brotherhood had like the open world and you had your own city as well where you would upgrade shops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Some
I
cool
always
growth.
enjoy when people have mentioned that a lot when I stream Valhalla. That they're not historically accurate anymore, and they just completely forget that their favorite game, Assassin's Creed 2, ends with you fist fighting the Pope because
Pope.
he has a golden apple made out of alien technology that controls people's minds. And it's like that's the boss fight. You remember that, right? He's like, yeah, but they removed the crossbow because it wasn't invented yet for like 50 years.
I feel like that fact alone completely absolves us of any sort of complaints regarding us being too boomerish in our criticism of titles.
Yeah, I mean, people definitely have nostalgia goggles on when they're talking about Assassin's Creed, 100%.
Right.
But yeah, also Valhalla is the first Assassin's Creed game that's getting support into its second year as well, according
Oh,
to
nice.
Ubisoft.
So new content on the way, most likely.
So speaking of open world exploration, shooters, Far Cry is getting its next installment as well. It was revealed quite a long time ago, but now we had a little bit more gameplay reveal.
Ooh, how's it looking? As a Far Cry fan.
It's looking good.
Yeah,
Definitely, I'm super excited for it. Also, Far Cry leaning into a little bit more of the weirder stuff. Always fun. New
absolutely.
Dawn was cool because in the end you kind of get superpowers and stuff like that as well, which is, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. It's cool, but you don't really need it. But after playing like 5 and 4, which are kind of similar, 5 is way better than 4. But it's nice to just have some different abilities or something like that.
Yeah, good to change it up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
I know they tried to do that with Primal, which I thought was better than I expected it to be.
yeah.
But yeah, looking good.
I'm definitely high for it. Also, the dude who plays the villain is fantastic just as an actor. So I'm sure they'll have a really good villain again because everybody always wants Vas back, but Vas in Far Cry 3 died like a third into the game or something like that.
Right, right. I love how the actor, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he seems to make his way into a lot of video games, which I kind of love. He was in some Payday cinematics back in the day
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Payday 3 also got announced. Got some announcement here at least.
Yes. Yeah, they finally have a publisher, so I'm excited to see what comes of that.
Yeah, and
Huge
that's
Payday
coming
fan.
out in just a couple of months.
Nice, nice. Definitely be watching out for that one.
They also announced the season pass for us because even though I really like the Ubisoft games, I will always complain about the absolute shitty like season pass and microtransactions. Because if you want to buy like all the microtransactions, you're gonna pay like twice as much money as you do for everything else as well, basically.
Pretty bold in a single player story game as well.
Yeah, it's like a single player story mode. You pay $60 for the main game, $30 for the season pass. All of these are like it can be more as well, especially if it's on console. So then you're up to like $90, and then you have microtransactions, which are easily like $100 for a lot of these. You have skins and stuff like this.
Why settle for one business model when you can have all of them, right?
Yeah, I definitely am not on board with that one. No, like I said, the only one I've ever bought was the Rainbow Ship, but that was to annoy people. So I think that was for a good cause.
Yeah, whenever you're causing misery to your viewers, it's money well spent.
Yeah. So this one, you play as the villains from different Far Cry games.
I
including
like that.
Bass, even though he dies very early on in the story. He is pretty important, very charismatic, and the whole start of the whole charismatic villain in Far Cry kind of thing.
That's
So
different.
it's looking cool.
I like it.
They also announced a new Blood Dragon game, which was basically a parody of 80s neon games. It's basically if you thought Doctor Disrespect was like an actual action hero in 80s neon game. So it's looking cool.
So that begs the question: is there like a hidden chapter where you can go into a men's bathroom?
I mean, we're
No,
just gonna have to check it out, right? Just gonna have to check it out. Mario,
absolutely.
Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope also got gameplay reveal. Basically, Ubisoft's own answer to XCOM, I guess, with the Rabbids and Mario.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only a matter of time before Mario gets some sort of like turn-based tactics sort of spin, right? Because they basically dominated every other genre of video game.
Yeah,
I'm a Tactics fan, so I can't complain. Like I'll look respectfully and you know maybe give it a shot. But
I think it's only for the Nintendo Switch.
oh, okay, maybe not then.
But I mean, I never played any of these, but they are getting sequel after sequel, so it feels like so. I mean, probably people do like them.
Absolutely.
Watch Dogs Legions getting its next DLC as well. They also have the alpha mode now for zombies and stuff like that out. I haven't tried that one out personally, but the protagonist from the first game is coming out for a DLC. It's apparently before the whole Legion and like oppressive, super authoritarian states kind of thing. What I understand, it's a little
Okay.
bit of a prequel. I could be wrong, but that's from what I understand about it. And yeah, we'll see how that one will go.
Looks
Did you ever
pretty
play
good.
Legion or any of the
I
Watchdog games?
I have not actually. I could tell though just from what they've added with the sequel and now the additional content, like it seems to have made leaps and strides in the franchise.
Yeah, the first one was pretty horrible. Honestly, I got that one like the deluxe edition. Played a little bit of the mini games. Thought it was really bad. Just stopped playing it. The second one was supposed to be good. I never played that one. Legion, it's alright. Honestly, I like it. Basically, also for the memes because you can choose like what kind of character you're supposed to be. And I took like some Italian plumber dude who only had a wrench.
You just can't
His
escape
power
Mario.
was just a wrench. Everybody else had like a sports car or like a gun or to collect money faster, run faster, hack better, and stuff like that. But
Literally injected Mario into the Watch Dogs
yeah, it
universe.
was just Mario that swore a loss with a wrench, and he would just be he like swore so much. It was like Mario, please, this medical transport has the medicine my brother-in-law needs, otherwise he'll die. And he'll just be like, son of a fuck, I'll go get your drugs and stuff like that. So it was pretty good and good memes.
Oh man, for that alone, I have to play it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's randomly generated, so you don't always get him specifically.
Worth the wait.
But yeah, always fun getting new things. It is in the season pass though, but they have so much in the Microsoft in the in-game store as well, which makes me so angry to actually like the game. It's
Ooh, some self-loathing there. Yeah.
yeah. Avatar game also got announced.
Yeah. What are your feelings on Avatar? This game specifically.
It's one of those games where I'm like, is this in-game footage?
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. It looks like it's way too pretty, way too many details. There's like a little bug on the screen as well with all this foliage and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem like it's actually in-game or it's like a heavily scripted scene. But I can't imagine that in-game you go for that. It's one of those... like Snowdrop is a fantastic engine, but I don't know if this is like actual gameplay or just if it's in-game or whatever it is. Because later on in the trailer, you also get a close-up of one of the creatures, and in the trailer they're like very low resolution, which is jarring if you like if you're checking for stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I'm always a big sort of skeptic when it comes to game trailers, which seem to emphasize movie sequences over actually showing gameplay. Which, let's be honest, like as movie-esque as titles can be, we tend to kind of focus on the fact that they're actually games. So
Yeah,
movies don't always like show us what the game's even about necessarily. But yeah, I thought this was a movie sequence personally, but it's supposed to be a action game with a sort of open world environment, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
So they haven't really shown any gameplay much, except for this one. But this is the scene I was thinking about or mentioning. Like the creature is so low resolution that it actually makes me think that this is in game. But they
Right.
never mentioned that. Like in the Battlefield trailer, for example, they did mention that it was in game, but not in this one.
If it is, that would have been a great point to mention. It probably would have been impressing me, honestly.
Yeah, now that I say in-game, I'm going to correct myself and actually also mention that usually you get three types of trailers. You get in-game trailers, which is just gameplay, well, in-engine, I guess it's called, in-engine, where it's just kind of like this, super scripted. It's still the engine, so you kind of know what the game will actually look like. And then you have
Right.
gameplay trailers, which is just gameplay, cut into a trailer. And that's the most accurate to what you can see. And then you have cinematic trailers, which had nothing to do with the game, and it's just like a little movie that they made it with CGI, essentially.
Right, right.
So if this is cinematic or in-engine, that's remains to be seen.
Are you a fan of the movie, by the way?
Yeah. Do you know the story why they made Avatar?
Didn't it have something to do with Fern Gully, right?
It was the type of camera you use nowadays for actually making like 3D movies was partly made by James Cameron. James Cameron was one of the like people who actually invented the goddamn camera. And James Cameron just went, nobody's using my camera to make 3D movies correctly. Nobody knows how to use this or make this. I'm gonna make my own thing, and he made Avatar.
It's like the most expensive camera advertisement ever.
Yeah, basically. But after that, a lot more people use that camera. So I guess it worked for him twice over or something.
Sounds like. I mean, Avatar is pretty well received, right?
Yep. It's the second highest grossing movie ever, except for in-game now.
If I ever end up playing this, I think my favorite part is going to be the fact that the Na'vi are supposedly like, I don't know, 9-10 feet tall. So whenever you run up against human opponents, you're just going to be able to like Goomba stomp them.
Yeah. Always nice. All right. And that's it for the Ubisoft stuff. All right. And for the next segments, we got the Xbox segment as well, which was actually like, it blew everything else out of the water, the Xbox and Bethesda one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the first one is The Ascent. That's a top-down action RPG.
I like
top-down shooter action RPG, basically, with cyberpunk aesthetics.
Oh, this looks really good.
Yeah, this is one of those games I'm going to be playing no matter what. It looks really goddamn cool, actually. Maybe not the best one, but I'm sure that no matter what, I'm just going to enjoy it anyway. It's probably going to be on Game Pass as well, right?
I'd imagine.
I'm fairly sure it's very likely will, since it's from the Xbox lineup.
Absolutely.
And we're going to blast through all of these pretty quickly. So that's it for that
a lot
one.
of games into the Xbox wheelhouse here.
Battlefield 2042 got its own gameplay trailer as well. Here we can see, for example, in-game engine, trailer. So this is actually how it's going to look like. And it's the Frostbite engine, I imagine. So it's just going to be really good, I imagine. Looks like Battlefield 4 with tornadoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been waiting so long to see a Battlefield game that's, not set in World War I, World War II. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but oh my God, we're so past due for a nice sort of modern / near future Battlefield, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think a lot of people really want the new Battlefield 2142 instead.
Right.
With the giant mechs and everything.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it's not World War II again, or World War I.
Yeah, I mean, like, as somebody who played, basically all the Battlefields, I have my favorite one, personally, is Bad Company 2.
Same.
But it's always just been, like, back and forth from modern, like today, to World War II, and then it does some off shots to, like, the Vietnam War and World War I. And then futuristic stuff and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's like those two eras just alternate, basically.
Hopefully, if we're lucky, the next one will be the future. That'd be cool. It's a mech action again, like you said.
I mean, they have to go back now. right? After this one, next one, World War One again.
Please.
Bam.
No, no. Please let that not be the case.
It's either that or
Civil War
zombies.
Battlefield. Take
After
a
that,
page out of Cod's book. But yeah, I'm really high for this one, honestly. Huge Battlefield fan.
yeah, a lot of people have been doing like I've seen like some 6-hour analysis videos from this one trailer and stuff like that. So people are very hyped for this one. Very, very hyped.
My one question is why there's a four-wheeler on the roof of the skyscraper, but that's it for me. That's the extent of my analysis of the video.
I mean, that's where you drive them, right? When you're rich, I think. That's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that's how you show that you're wealthy.
nothing else will spend money on.
Yeah. And for the next one, it is Contraband, which has got an announcement. I have no idea what it's about. It's apparently a co-op game. What's this?
I believe, yeah, co-op game. It's like a 70s setting, I believe. Sets in, what is it? Is it South America?
Yeah, 70s smugglers.
Yeah.
My great-grandfather was actually a smuggler.
Really?
Yep.
What did he smuggle?
Booze to Finland during their prohibition.
Ah, bootlegger. Okay.
Yeah, and then he smuggled people out of Germany during the war, during the Second World War.
That's
so
awesome.
They didn't have to be there.
That's really cool, actually. It's
yeah,
amazing.
It actually is. But even though you like smuggle and help people, it's he probably got money for it, so it's not all like good guy vibes. I think when you're a smuggler, no matter what.
Right. Yeah. Never really, altruistic, are you?
Yeah.
I like how they did this, by the way. They have like little Polaroids and they show like what the actual game is about, open worlds, co-op, things like that.
It's a cool trailer that will tell you nothing.
It's got really cool music too that we also probably can't play, otherwise we'll get a DMCA strike. But
yeah, no music.
Trust us, just great tunes.
Yeah. We didn't upload the last episode. We got actually copyright claim on it. We had no music or anything like that, but Scarlet Nexus copyright claimed it because we had the trailer silently in the background.
Oh man, we're gonna get so many strikes for this video. Covering
we'll see how this one goes. Stalker 2 got its own, also got announced and got its own gameplay trailer as well. Looking really, really cool. I never played the first ones, but I do know a lot of people keep them really, really close to their hearts.
Yeah, love the Stalker games. They're for anybody who hasn't played Stalker, it's sort of like, think of like a Chernobyl sort of centered Fallout experience with a slighter, heavier lean on the kind of like paranormal almost. A lot of like anomalies and creatures and sort of these weird kind of like pulsing energy things which can cause all sorts of like distortions and wreak havoc with like the space-time continuum, things like that. Really good games though, honestly. I'm excited to see this title come out.
From what I understand, they're like Fallout if they were Metro-esque.
Yes, 100%. It's like Fallout and Metro had a baby with like X-Files almost.
Do you know what Stalker stands for?
I don't actually.
It's scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, lovers, killers, explorers, and robbers.
I don't remember much loving going on when I played Stalker. Maybe I didn't click on the right like conversation prompts.
Yeah, probably that's why they don't mention what it stands for ever, and people don't know.
Just be stakers otherwise, which isn't quite as cool.
Yeah. Redfall also got announced, got its own trailer. Personally, I really like this because I'm someone who really thinks about art direction and art decisions. And here, the art direction is basically the like 8th jagged star of chaos, essentially, where they just go all over the place.
Okay.
They go into like futuristic, urban fantasy, like medieval vampires,
right,
like Witcher-esque stuff. It's also like cartoonish, but like their own style of cartoonish.
Yeah.
And it's like high tech with magic.
Not afraid to be different. I like it.
Yeah, it's basically everything, I felt.
Just a smattering across the board. And this is a PvP game, right?
I think this is I'm not really sure, honestly. I don't know sure if they said this, but it does look like it's a PvE game.
Oh, okay.
where you try to play against the vampires, or maybe it is PvP. I actually am very unsure. Maybe it's their own Overwatch thing.
Right. It's another Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines battle royale.
Yeah, no, I don't. I actually have no idea what this game is about. Maybe we should have checked that before.
It's just a couple of old dudes being like, I don't know what the hell is going on. We should rename the podcast.
Yeah, it's an open world co-op FPS. So I guess it is PvE.
Ah, okay. I
It
didn't
is
realize it was
made
open world.
from Arcane Studios, which are making Deathloop as well. You can definitely see like they have like the same art directors for both of them.
Right, right.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, co-op FPS. So that's cool.
Open world with vampires. That sounds intriguing.
Yep. Day
Huh.
one with Game Pass once again. Game Pass is getting like a lot of bang for your buck here in like inside of just a couple of months.
Yeah, I was originally kind of skeptical with schemes like that, but it does seem to offer a pretty good return for the money overall.
Yeah.
I think we picked it up for playing It Takes Two recently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good game.
It is a really solid co-op experience for sure.
And now for the creation engine, which is pretty cool because that's what they use in for the Skyrim games.
Oh.
Bethesda also announced that Starfield coming in. Brand new universe, 25 years in the making. Typical Bethesda shenanigans. There's like, yeah, I put it on a whiteboard at some point, so now it's 25 years in the making.
Yeah, that's what it has to be, right? Like, surely they have been working on it for a quarter of a century.
No, I can't imagine they have. It's probably something they've been writing a little bit of tidbits of lore every few months or something like that.
They had like a whole sticky pad, like paper in a desk somewhere with like the name on it for the past 25 years. And they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, Bethesda are one of those games that I don't know. I really liked them when I was young, and maybe in like the older I guess, the less I enjoy the direction they take their games. Like Skyrim, for example, if you compare that to Morrowind, it's grossly dumbed down.
Yeah, true.
But this one, as it says here, it is in game, which you can see like with a little bit of choppiness in animations and stuff like that. It does look like it's amazingly pretty. And it might be fantastic as well. They do say it's Skyrim in space.
Right. So it's supposed to be more open world then. Is that right?
I suppose so. So they haven't said a lot about it.
Because they're usually Bethesda's really good with their single player titles, which tend to be more campaign focused. They tend to be really solid, which stand in stark contrast to their open world games, which tend to be a little bit buggy. That's not necessarily criticism because obviously open world game, there's a ton you got to watch out for, right? But either scenario, I think, would be a win.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
We'll see. And now that they're owned by Microsoft, I do imagine that maybe they have like a new Q&A guy or something like that, so we don't get like thousands of bugs on day one, and there's like,
right? Maybe they splurge and they got two quality assurance guys.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves getting updates, the one that everybody was asking for.
Yes.
Which is the Pirates of the Caribbean tie-in with Jack Sparrow and all the villains and everything from it.
Sea of Thieves now with more Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, I have no idea why they didn't do this one earlier. Honestly, it feels almost too late, but I guess the player base is still fairly large for Sea of Thieves, especially now with the updates for story and everything.
Johnny Depp is eternal. He never goes out of style.
Yeah, it's not Johnny Depp though. I'm fairly sure that that's the voice for him. From the trailer, it did not sound like him, or maybe Johnny Depp has had like a rough patch or something.
I really hope it's like him. That'd be so disappointing if it's not.
Everybody can do a Jack Sparrow, impersonation nowadays.
Yeah, but I mean, we deserve an authentic Jack Sparrow experience. This isn't Disney World, some man in a suit.
That's I'm fairly sure it's not Johnny Depp. But we can double check here really fast.
I'm upset. This upsets me. It better be Johnny Depp.
Let's check here. Did he do the voice for this one?
$1 million question. Drum roll, please.
So I go into IMDb, check out.
Oh, there we go.
What is he credited as? Not that.
Investigative reporting.
He's not credited on his IMDb page for doing Sea of Thieves. The next step, which would take too long, we have a lot of games to go through, would be to check the Sea of Thieves IMDb. You check who is credited as Jack Sparrow, but I'm fairly sure it is not Johnny Depp.
Do you think it's Jack Sparrow? Leave your comment in the box below, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave us a positive Yelp review. And any other social media platform, please. We're begging you.
Hit that little bell notification.
Right? Yeah, like there's probably going to be a bell notification up here somewhere. Just give Fred here a lot more work and like add an animation or a little pop up somewhere. He probably hates me for doing this. Like I could sense it. There's not going to be one. I'm just
I don't have
waving
feelings. It's
like
fine.
a madman right now.
The next one, also from Bethesda, Fallout 76, getting its new DLC update, Steel Rain, new location, new quest line, new legendary crafting.
Yes. I think the interesting thing for this, for me, is I believe the location is Pittsburgh, which fans of Fallout 3 will remember is the location of one of the DLCs for that title.
The pits, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So some nostalgia tingles there, possibly.
It's cool. I actually like the Fallout 76 more than I like Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is one of those games that I got this season pass day one, and I've never played any of the DLC ever.
Yeah, I think I played all of them. They were okay, but definitely not my favorite in the series. I think 3 had some really good DLC. I thought Vegas had good DLC as well, but 4 was okay. It wasn't
favorite Fallout game quickly.
Favorite Fallout game? Oh God, that's probably gonna have to be Vegas, having not played 1 or 2 yet.
Yeah, that's the right answer. Moving on. We also have 12 minutes, which is man stuck in a time loop trying to save his wife. I think it is.
I believe so.
And it's story driven to some extent. Probably should have read up more about this one.
I'm guessing each playthrough is only about 12 minutes long, I assume.
But I guess this game is going to lean heavily into the time looping mechanic and make the game out of just one level. So this is actually a really old concept in theater. Where about 150 years ago or something like that, they would pride themselves in doing an entire play with just one room and try to actually like limit whoever was writing the actual piece into just that room, basically. So in that regard, this is kind of cool, actually, if you know that as well.
I do like the top-down perspective. I don't know if this is consistent throughout the game, but it's different. Why do I get the feeling they're going to have a long, happy life, these two?
They probably will not. I'm fairly sure the time loop is that people break in and kill his wife or something like that. So we'll just go through here really quickly because we actually don't have time to do anything else.
We don't have 12 minutes for 12 minutes,
see,
folks.
There we go. Agent 47 coming in here.
Wow. He was a very, very unenthusiastic stab, might I say. Not to be too critical, but that was a very slow, kind of energyless murder
it's
attempt.
no Hotline Miami kind of stabbing, isn't it?
He's like, I hope he doesn't sue me. Oh, no, he blocked the attack.
Yeah. So Annapurna Interactive, I think I mentioned that before as well. Yeah, we'll check that one out and see what that is, because I personally have no goddamn clue.
It seems like it might be the type of game to slap you in the feels.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Psychonauts 2 got a release date and everything like that.
Right.
Did you ever play the first one?
I did not.
Personally, I did. One of the best games I ever played. I thought it was super funny back in the day. It was super cool, super like weird, and a lot of like psychological jokes, which were deep for me as I was 14. Like a lot of something that fans will always talk about is like the mailman is super paranoid, and you dive into his mind, and he thinks he's being followed. So in the neighborhood, everywhere he goes, there's agents in the mailboxes. Like all the birds are little cameras. Everything is just cameras, essentially.
That's amazing.
And it just goes on like that. So I kickstarted this game roughly 6 years ago or something like that when the Kickstarter was on. And been waiting for it eagerly. And Double Fine has made 11 games since then or something like that. He's spitting on my investments of like $39 or whatever it is.
It was just sitting in a drawer next to Starfield.
So now after 6 years of getting development feedback, well, like emails and stuff like that, on how it's going. I can finally say that I never read any of it, and it's coming out on Game Pass day one as well in August.
Nice. Another notch for Game Pass.
Yeah, so 100% gonna be playing this one.
Oh, it's my birthday. Nice.
Oh, is this nice? I'll remember
Yeah.
this.
Thank you. I'll remember yours too. When is it?
27th of March.
Okay, March baby.
Party Animals also got
Yes.
gameplay trailer.
This looks fun. It looks kind of like Game Beast esque, Gang Beast esque, essentially. Meets maybe Fall Guys, sort of.
It's yeah, I was gonna say Fall Guys, but you're doing a battle royale with a couple more. So I don't know how much we're gonna mention this one. Looks wonky.
Yeah, it looks like that's part of the fun.
Yeah, it's one of those games, you know, like it's not really made for me because you need friends. But it's probably going to be cool. It's one of those games that you just, if you have a couple of friends, it's probably going to be a blast.
Say this for the depth of sincerity from the furthest reaches of my soul. I would happily put on an animal suit and beat the crap out of you with a giant lollipop, Fred.
No, I'm gonna just assume that's mockery. Anyway, on to Somerville.
It's legit. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, where we have a sci-fi adventure grounded in repercussion large-scale conflict. This is a game that I very likely think will bring me to tears. Very likely. Oh, yeah. So it's just an adventure game where you've survived a large-scale conflict, essentially.
Okay.
They haven't said much more about it, and I refuse to listen to trailers. So here we see a little family on the screen being on the couch from a TV where in a very messy place in a post-apocalyptic like little parking lot and everything. Probably very recently because some of the cars still have their headlights on. And yeah, it's looking pretty cool actually. One of those side-scrolling or adventure games.
Right. I love the art style.
Yeah. Oh, it's aliens that have done the entire invading. All right, it was actually that's.
It's always aliens.
Always the aliens. Got down.
This dude probably got the better end of the deal. Otherwise, it was going to be like a murderer that busted in, and you have to hop into a time warp.
So. Yeah. So happy to play that one. These games, I really hope, are usually just like 5 hours or so you can get through them.
Right.
And then just enjoy that to the max, and then it's you have that memory basically.
Yeah, just a quality story.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna be playing it as well?
I definitely play something like that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of side scroll games that hit you in the feels.
Nice. And now also Halo Infinite got a multiplayer reveal. Halo Infinite coming out. Been a lot of memes on the internet with ugly character models and stuff like that.
A lot of people excited about this one. Yeah.
Are you a big Halo fan?
I can't say that I am. Not because I just never liked them. I just never played them, honestly. I don't think I really had a console when this took off. So I kind of missed the boat, essentially. But I know it's a beloved series. It seems like it's consistently pretty good. And I feel left on the sidelines, honestly. What about you?
The last one I played was ODST. I used to play them a lot back when I was doing my army training for that year. We just had like one Xbox and we just played Halo 2 on that one constantly, nice. Like 4 people, and that was like the downtime we had.
Right. Good old split screen PvP.
Yep. But yeah, looking cool. Probably going to be good times and good memes from the multiplayer matches, I imagine.
I really like that grapple hook. That's kind of cool.
Grappling hook looks cool. The new vehicles look really cool. I mean, we always recognize the tank, right? But and a lot of the other stuff. But I see a couple of things that I don't recognize at least.
Yeah.
Banshee as well. Nice. Anyway, Halo gonna be cool. Diablo 2 Resurrection. The actual remaster. Is it a remaster? Is it a rework? Remake? It's a remaster, right?
I hope it's a remake, not just a remaster.
I actually think it's just
I think it's a remake.
I think it's a remaster actually.
Is it? That's going to be so disappointing. Is it just a Diablo 2 with a nice fresh coat of paint?
I think almost so. I don't think it's actually. Yeah, it's remaster. Yeah. So it's
Man.
for those who don't know, a remaster compared to a remake is basically the same engine. You optimize that for today's computers. You put in like a new coat of paint, higher resolution textures, new effects, stuff like that. And that's a remaster. You have roughly the same stuff, maybe a new UI and stuff like that. A good comparison would be to that you bought Ace Ventura: Pet Detective on VHS back in the day. When you want to rewatch that, so you buy it on Blu-ray. That's kind of like a remaster. You don't have to, rewind the tape anymore. It looks a little bit better, higher resolution, but in the end, it's the same one.
Right. I would use a house metaphor personally. Just have basically a remaster would be a fresh coat of paint on an old house. If there's any termites in the wood, you're still screwed. A remake would be, at least some new beams. At
Yeah.
least a few hard surfaces have been redone. But
Yeah.
it's I don't know, man. Like I thought this was a remake, honestly. So the fact that it's only been touched up essentially kind of makes me a little bit dubious.
Yeah. So a remaster, for comparison, is when you build a house from the ground up. And you can
Right.
fix everything that was wrong with it,
Hmm.
and you make it a new standard instead of just, doing a slight renovation.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm just going to touch on this very briefly. I think personally that this game will make people notice that they've had nostalgia goggles on for a very long time. I think in the age of like Path of Exile and stuff like that, this game will not be what you're looking for.
Right. That's actually a great point of comparison because Path of Exile sort of matches this more or less graphically, but it also benefits from more modernized, I guess, mechanic implementation and support. So yeah, this I think you're right. This might be a case where nostalgia goggles sort of slip off people's faces. I know a lot of people will genuinely enjoy the hardcore Diablo fans, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I can't imagine a game old like this has actually aged well. I enjoyed it back in the day, and I would still
right.
enjoy it now as well. But I don't think it's aged as well as a lot of people have thought.
Yeah, just to the point of it getting away with being a remaster rather than a remake, which I think
Yeah,
would have been amazing. But here's hoping. Maybe we'll be wrong. You never know.
here's hoping. Plague Tale, a Plague Tale Requiem also got its world premiere reveal trailer. The second one from the fancy rat adventures, where you can make people get eaten by rats. Did you ever play that one?
I didn't. I'm ashamed to say because obviously it involves rodents. I feel like I'm obligated, but it looks really good. The original and the sequel coming out. I don't know if you play them though.
Never. I'm still going to take the moral high ground though. Focus Home Interactive are the publisher of this one, and I always like Focus Home Interactive. They've not done the best job now the latest couple of games, but otherwise they've done a lot of good games in the past. A Plague Tale, the first one, was definitely one of them. Definitely looking forward to seeing where the story goes. And I'll probably play through all of them at this point, because why not?
Yeah,
If they're all going to be on Game Pass anyway.
it's supposed to be really solid titles.
Yeah, everybody likes A Plague Tale, the first one, from what I gather anyway.
Right, right.
Speaking of everybody liking, Slime Rancher 2 got its reveal as well.
Have you played this? I haven't played the original either.
No, I bought it like 1.5 years ago, and it's been on my list of things to play, just off stream or whatever. But
Right.
I have not. I know a couple of people who did speedruns of it, but
Bizarre.
I never even. No, I never done anything with it, basically.
It looks so cute though. Like
Yeah.
it seems like a game you just can't help but enjoy on
Yeah,
some level.
it definitely feels like one of those games that once you start playing it, it's probably got just it's really good, honestly.
Right.
But the second one coming out to the joy of absolutely everyone, including the haters. Shredders coming out as well. Just a snowboarding game as well. I don't have much else to say. I just want to keep this as a podcasting news.
We're doing this
podcast.
for you. We're letting you know there's a snowboarding game coming out.
Yeah, snowboarding, fun.
My experience ends with Cool Borders, I think, on the original PlayStation.
Yeah.
Fun game. So yeah,
Atomic Heart's actually a game that I care about. This is basically brutal, wonky Russian Fallout
Beautiful.
mixed with Bioshock.
I'm really intrigued because of the sheer wackiness that I see from this trailer.
Yeah. So it's I'm 100% going to be playing this one, streaming it, everything. I'm just basically hyped to see playing it. Seems cool, wonky.
Yeah. Really really kind of unique as well. Like there's a lot of obviously kind of sci-fi with a quirky personality type titles out there, but this kind of
together with the
Anomalist
as well from Stalker and Metro, I guess, also has those.
Exactly. Also Outer Worlds to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy. Well, you know what? Let's just go into Outer Worlds now that you mention this.
Yeah,
because
good segue.
This is a game that I didn't care much about until I started thinking about it.
Really?
Did you ever play Outer Worlds?
I did. Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought they managed to hit the sweet spot between staying true to the Fallout formula, which everybody kind of hoped there would be, and also kind of making it their own with like a little bit of Firefly mixed in. What about you?
Personally, I thought it was a really good RPG with good decisions, stuff like that, but the gameplay would only be good if it was released in 2011, essentially.
Okay.
The gameplay wasn't bad or anything like that, but it wasn't like super good either. Like the gunplay wasn't great. The perks was, like Fallout New Vegas, essentially, where it's just like more carrying capacity, a little bit faster, a little bit more crit chance, stuff like that. Essentially, it was so and so, but the story and dialogue I thought was really good.
Gotcha.
Some of the stuff was a little bit rushed. But here's the thing: why I got excited for it afterwards. I was like, all right, that's gonna be cool. I'll probably be playing Outer Worlds 2. Then I started thinking, wait, they're bought by Microsoft now. That means that the only problem I had with the first one was basically that you could tell they didn't have the budget to do everything they wanted to. It was basically like a too small of a game, if that makes sense, to what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
It always felt like they were forced to downscale everything. But now they have Microsoft money, which I can only assume comes with somebody who threatens them from Microsoft in a loving way.
Always, of course.
Yeah, who always comes in like to the office, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so how's the development going then, everyone? You guys got everything you need? You have I bought a new coffee machine for you. Hi there, Dave. Are you doing well? Everything's good. You need new equipment? We can get that. You guys need a couple more $1 million for developments? No, okay. Well, take care then, or your families will get it." And then he'll just leave.
Just
and people be like,
threateningly.
"Wait, did he? What did he say the last thing?" And then he'll be
really
like,
nice.
"No." So the muffins he left, he has like pictures of our families by them, Polaroids. And he show emails, with stuff like, "Hey, I heard the development's going really well. By the way, your new kitchen furniture looks great from the yard." Things like that.
He just comes into the office every day with a different coffee mug with like a picture of one of the developers' kids like sleeping from a picture inside their house. Just like, hey, how's the production coming?
Yeah. So I think Microsoft's probably very good for these dudes. Obsidian did like some really cool stuff as well. They did stuff like the first Knights of the Old Republic, New Vegas.
Yeah.
Tons of cool stuff. So looking forward to this one now that they actually have a budget and a little bit more direction from the first one.
Absolutely. Likewise. I'm hyped.
Replaced also got announced.
Yeah, this looks interesting. It's a 2D, or I guess a side scroller set in a dystopian future. It seems to have a pretty promising story. And it's got... Yeah, this is the right one I was thinking of. It's got a... it was a mix of like combat and platforming, seems like. But yeah.
Yeah, it's looking really cool. It's one of those games that I'm just happy about. Art direction looks really cool. They have really cool reflections together with the actual 2D 8-bit stuff. So
Crunchy graphics.
yeah, that's probably a good way to say it. Actually, crunchy cardboard graphics. It's looking really nice. I'm hyped about it.
Yeah, exactly something I'd play.
Then we also had Aiden Chronicles. 100 Heroes got announced. This one will only touch about very lightly. City, it's a side-scrolling action RPG with city building as well. I'm fairly sure JRPG.
Right.
And then Age of Empires 4 got announced. Well, got official gameplay.
But a lot of people are hyped about this. How about you?
Well, I think Age of Empire has had its heyday. A lot of like Age of Empires 2 still is very big.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if they can take that crowd from Age of Empires 2 to Age of Empires 4, essentially.
Wow, you're just going to come out and say the franchise is just getting too old, huh? I'm kidding.
I mean, we'll see how it goes, but it does look like fancier, prettier 2021 Age of Empires, essentially.
More of everything.
Yeah, I don't. There's not much to say about it personally. I think unless you're really, really into Age of Empires.
I will say it's great to see an RTS with modern graphics. It's not something you usually see anymore, at least.
No, not this kind of RTS. They usually age really well. Graphics doesn't evolve the same as they did before anyway. So like StarCraft 2 is still kind of like very pretty, even though it's really old.
Right.
Same with, well, we'll see how this one will age as well.
Yeah, I might play it. Looks all right.
Yeah.
Like Age of Empires.
Forza Horizon 5. Did you ever play any Forza?
I have not. I usually don't play racing games. I'm not opposed to it. It just never really happens. How about you?
Personally, I like them. I'm not good at them, though, which is definitely a meme in my channel. I was... so in the Mafia game, that was... the remake was released.
Mm-hmm.
There's a racing mission in that one. And classic difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, that racing mission is notorious for being really hard. And I sat there for, I think it was 4 hours trying to beat that one.
This is the meme now. You're just a really bad driver in video games.
So I play like Forza and I play Dirt and stuff like that otherwise, but it was so hard. And it's just, I like these games though. So this one looks absolutely amazing. It's really nice not being in Forza Horizon 4 where you're just in dreary England, where it's just like, I just imagine Weatherman Geralt from The Witcher coming in like all time. It's like, looks like rain. So nice being in Mexico. The graphics look amazing, honestly, like really, really good.
They do.
Horizon 4, still one of the prettiest games out there. This one just looks way better as well. So
looking forward. That's cool.
Yeah, so the adventure like racing stuff in Horizon 4 are great. Pretty fantastic. So hopefully Horizon 5 will have stuff like that as well.
There's more to it than I realized. Okay.
Yeah. Like you have these adventure things as well, where you're supposed to like take in, some box cars, something like that, and you jump over trains and shit like that.
Amazing.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to that one.
I'm sold.
And that concludes. Wait, I'm actually gonna do this. I should not have done this. And that concludes that segment of the Xbox and Bethesda. For the next segment, we have the Square Enix presentations, and we're going to start off with Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy one, which seems weird, honestly, from my opinion.
I was waiting to see what your response to this video was, or this reveal.
Yeah, so at least like Guardians of the Galaxy is very tied into like what kind of music they're using, but they at least they're doing like a streamer friendly playlist, so we'll see what comes from that. Right. And yeah, that's gonna be cool to see. What really bogs my mind though is that Marvel's Avengers did not do well. It was like it flopped pretty hard from what I understand, and from a lot of perspective, but I don't see any difference from this one except for it's a new cast.
Wasn't Avengers like a fighting game, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, it's like when you see the gameplay from this one, like it's the same.
Oh, okay. I thought
It's
this
the
was
same.
more
Like
single
it's
player.
obviously the same engine and everything like this.
Right.
But the combat in itself wasn't like the greatest. It was a lot of like, you didn't get any thunk to it when you actually did anything. Like you didn't feel any connects to hitting stuff. It
Gotcha.
was kind of weird. Like you would be the Hulk, and you would, smash stuff with your fist just as fast as Black Widow would. Which is, you're the Hulk. You don't feel like the Hulk.
Right.
And a ton of other issues with it. Maybe this one will be better because some of the stuff seems to be fixed, maybe. But in the end, I don't know why they don't just try to fix up Avengers first to a better state.
Yeah. So one question for me is, I don't know if you're more familiar with the comic books and stuff, but is that why they went with this aesthetic? Like you kind of assume they might go with the movie look of the characters and things, but they obviously diverged a fair amount from that. I don't know if this is more true to the source material, possibly.
I mean, the comics are always like this, right? You have new iterations of the characters just about every decade. They'll just look different every decade.
Right.
So they all look differently. It's none of them have like, this is exactly what they look like.
I just appreciate that Groot was holding a purple llama.
Yeah.
The scene there, that was pretty good.
They also had the Russian space dog that was in the movies as well. So that's a little thing. But yeah, personally, I don't like, this is how he looks in the comics, right? Like they look very, very different.
Well, hopefully it can get by on story and humor rather than any maybe perceived shortcoming from the gameplay perspective.
Yeah, we'll have to see, I guess. And Legend of Mana is getting a remaster.
Right. So I know this is a remaster of a very, very beloved RPG from ages and ages ago, many hundreds of years. I have not played it myself, but I could definitely see why people are pretty hyped for this. It's a pretty iconic RPG from the oh god, what is it, like the Super Nintendo era, I believe. I'm pretty sure. I should know this, but yeah, worth noting at least. Looks to be something to scratch the nostalgic itch for any of those old time RPG fans.
I've seen a couple of people stream it, and I mean, they definitely have fans still, to say the very least.
Right. Yeah, back from the sort of Chrono Trigger era of some sort of early Final Fantasies as well.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing what it's all gonna be about, though.
Right. I might have to play it, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll see if I even check it out, honestly. It's not really up my alley, but people seem to really dig it, so might actually give it a try. Did you play the whole one?
I didn't know. It's like a gap in my my gaming knowledge as well, because it's such a beloved installment in the RPG sphere.
Speaking of, oh yeah, sorry.
Oh no,
man, this podcast is getting really long. Jesus Christ!
How you holding up, Fred? This is a 2-hour check on wellness. You doing okay?
No, but thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
So Marvel's Avengers, as we mentioned earlier, is getting a DLC. It's finally time for Black Panther to come in, and Wakanda, and it's one of those things where that game is just like, it should have been. I really wanted it to be good, man. I really, really did. I don't know if T'Challa can save it. I really don't.
If anybody can.
If anybody can, yeah. But we'll see. The combat was, like I said, like so bland that
Not great.
we'll see. The story was okay in a lot of bits, but other than that, it was just weird. It was also bugs at the start, so obviously that didn't help for anyone.
Right.
It's also weird how they go with the movie aesthetics for a lot of stuff, but not the faces, and not a lot of other stuff, which is weird. Maybe they should have just gone with, like, impersonators. Now probably like it would have been a pretty poor taste with the actor for Black Panther dying, but still.
Yeah, I suppose you basically can't avoid having to get a impersonator or just a new voice actor. At least
Yeah.
the other characters, though, you would assume would still be available for
Yeah, or at
casting.
least that their likeness, that these dudes are allowed to use those.
Right, but then you have to pay the actor or actresses for their their work and
Yeah, maybe you don't actually, because it should be in the contracts.
contracts. Yeah,
Yeah, should already be in that one.
should have read the fine print.
And yeah, speaking of spotting weird stuff, Hitman Sniper coming out with The Shadows, which is kind of like, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. It's like, if you're a hitman, you mentioned, like maybe you should do a little bit more than sniping. And why would you have so many snipers?
Yeah, not to be too judgmental, but for a Hitman game to sort of have a installment that focuses on sniping is a little bit it's a little bit too narrowing of the actual franchise, at least from my perspective. It'd be like if Battlefield came out with like Battlefield tanks when there's just so much more
Yeah.
to it, you know? But I mean, who's to say? Maybe it's amazing.
Yeah, the first one was mobile game. I'm not sure if
Really?
this one is, though. I don't think it is. I hope, but that's all we're gonna mention that one, I feel.
All that can be said.
Life is Strange getting a remaster.
Isn't it though? Oh wait, yeah, right.
So I played that one a little bit.
Right? It's a really well received franchise, as evidenced by the fact that they are remastering it after only 7 or 8 years. It's a point of criticism for some folks. It does seem a
Yeah,
bit early for a re-release of the title, but
yeah, it's one of those cases where when you say like, "Oh, it looks exactly the same," you're like, "Well, it's a little bit different, at least."
it's a little bit better. This is like Ace
Yeah.
Ventura VHS Blu-ray sort of
Yeah, I
comparison
mean, like,
again.
obviously it is better, but you can kind of understand people who say that it's looks the same. You're like, well,
Yeah, is it
well,
worth a full price of a slight touch up? I guess it's
yeah,
just for all you to decide.
yeah. I don't know what the price will be though, but if they try to do like a Mass Effect trilogy remaster thing, well, like $60 for all the games or something, that's probably not gonna fly. I don't think.
Right. I'd much rather see something like if you own the original, then you get, the new version for like, 10, $20 or something like that. But
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best way to go on that one. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the studio needs a little bit of extra cash to make some other projects, so that's what it is. Usually,
More
that's
life
a
is
good way
strangers.
to get that game development budgets going.
Very true.
New Final Fantasy also got revealed.
All right.
Personally, I laughed a lot when I saw the trailer for this one the first time, because the dude just goes like, "Chaos! I'm gonna kill chaos! I need to kill chaos! Chaos!" And it's just, I just felt like that is the shittiest writing I've heard in so long. And it's only like Final Fantasy that ever gets stuff like that, because people will try to derive some deeper meaning from it. But in the end, it's just something that sounds really cool. And then probably when you translate it over to English, it's not that good anymore.
I was going to say sometimes it's just a case of it being translated and it kind of sometimes it ends up being an amazing kind of happening when it gets translated, but other times it just sort of falls a little bit flat.
Yeah, so now you can just go, "I'm gonna kill chaos," while you smash a bat that's turned to crystals.
Everybody's dream.
Yeah, everybody's dream, I think, 2021.
Have you played the new Final Fantasy VII, by the way? Like the remake?
No, I have not. I'm waiting until I get a PS5 to be able to play that one. I'm gonna play that one. Miles Morales, I'm also waiting for. Also gonna obviously replay a ton of stuff like Ghost of Tsushima and the God of War and stuff like that as well. But
Right.
I'm waiting for those.
Yeah, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, but it breaks my heart. But I can't really bring myself to play any of it since it's so broken up now. It's they're just like sort of making it episodic essentially, which is
I have heard though it's like it's good, so they have made it in a good way.
Right. Yeah, I was a little bit dubious at first, just because it just seems a little bit too sectioned off unnecessarily. But if the content's good, then I mean, you can't really complain that much.
It's already got in DLC though, like 2 or something. So I'm sure that's or what they got in 1 and one other is announced, I think. So I'm sure in a couple of years you'll have like the entire Final Fantasy 7 with all DLC and everything.
Just gonna wait until it's all in one collection, like all 20 DLCs, all 3 part 2s, like just get everything at once. Play it at once.
Yeah. All right. I think that was it. We didn't go through Capcom. And Nintendo is tonight, but you're leaving for the week, so we can't really do this one tomorrow.
I am. Apologies. Got to leave you all to your lonesome.
How dare you leave us?
I know. I'm gonna miss you.
It'll be harsh, but we will try to manage.
We'll find else.
Next week we'll try to upload as well. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes with schedules and stuff like that. But it's technically the third podcast because we didn't upload the second one.
It was a really good podcast, folks. You're really missing out, but just how it works.
It was just stuff that we weren't happy with, and we also got copyright claims on the video and stuff. So in the end, we did not upload it.
As much as we pretend to be experienced streamers who have been at this for a long time, the whole podcast transition, I don't know for you, Fred, but it's definitely it's more of a transition than I realized it would be.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're making some progress. We're getting there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's it for today. We have more news for probably next week, since a lot of Nintendo stuff. We can talk a little bit about the Capcom things.
Nintendo stuff, games coming out for June.
I'm going to end with this. Which game are you most excited for from all of the ones we went through?
Oh, that's a great question for the comment section. Oh, you mean for me?
Yeah, for you. I mean, we can take it for the comment section as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go for it, folks. Oh God, which one from the? Oh man, Elden Ring. Is it Elden Ring? Is it Stalker? I'm gonna go with the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines Battle Royale, because I can't choose a good one because there's too many. There's too many good ones. I gotta choose a meme. What about you?
Far Cry 6. Like I said, I just really love those weird games. The open world stuff. So definitely like that one is my line that I'm most excited for.
It's a great formula. Can't blame you. Looks like a blast.
Just man, another one to sink my like 50 hours into.
Mm-hmm.
It's my jam.
A little bit of spin on it, a little bit something different, just change it up.
All right. For those of you who are still listening, though, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Leave your favorite game of all the ones that were announced on E3 in the comment section. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification.
Yeah. Positive Yelp reviews as well. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. Like Fred said, I know it was a long episode. We tried to get through all of E3, but it was fun hanging out with you. Hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you all in the next episode.
Yep.
Take care, folks.